If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Arguments are now underway in the Sean Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial. After 6 weeks of testimony from the prosecution, the defense spent just 1/2 hour reading over evidence and rested its case. Combs' attorneys made their case mostly through cross-examination. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Now, before I get into this demonstration, let's get one thing clear. I'm a vice lord, an unknown vice lord. I'm not a nice lord whatsoever. All that disrespect you lames in the comment section talking, listen, I will come to your town and do that. I will see any one of y'all with these, with this, whatever y'all want to do. Y'all want to spit, scratch, rustle, tassel, whatever y'all want to do, we can do that. Now let me quit playing. Let me quit playing. Let me straighten up this hat like I just walked into GD headquarters or something like that. Let me straighten up this hat. Y'all know I play too much, man. Y'all know I be goofy sometimes, man. Come on, y'all know hood educated, man. Now, look, before I get into this demonstration, though, I would like to address, the last video that I dropped. And I'm talking about, man, if I'm talking about y'all hammered me on that, whoa. The disrespect was at an all-time high. I'm talking about, man, you brothers was, called me all out my name. I'm talking about I'm jealous, I'm a hater, I'm a bitch-ass nigga, I'm a goofy, I'm a sucker, I'm old, and man, back when I was coming up, those type of words was fighting words. You couldn't just let somebody say something like that to you. Back in my day, it'd be like, we gotta thump. We gotta throw down. We gotta go toe to toe. You done disrespected me. But, one thing that I come to understand about my people is that when we believe something, we'll go all out for our beliefs. And that's just how we are. And whatever that belief may be, whether it be religion, gang banging, or political views, we get real excited and we go all out, for our beliefs. Even to the point of disrespect or even fighting or coming to violence. I understand that right there. And so, being that I have enough knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I don't take it seriously, man. I know I probably said some things that probably got some brothers in their emotions, and they express themselves, but they really don't feel that way. I mean, because I'm not beefing with nobody like that. You know what I mean? Even though all the name calling and stuff like that, I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it, but it's the internet. What can we do, right? And again, I understand my people. The same people that were just cussing me out, talking crazy, is watching me right now and probably shaking their head like, hey, hood, man, you right, bro. You had me hot yesterday, bro. I was mad, bro, but nah, you right, bro. This, come on, y'all. We in the hood, we talking. You know what I mean? And not only that, it's just that in the beginning of all my videos, I say I'm giving you my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that it has to be your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You can have a different view. You can believe something different than what I believe. But we just ain't got to, name call and all that old type of stuff. We can keep it on a mature level. We can be cool and dialogue and stuff like that. Voice your opinions without all the disrespect. Unless y'all want me to be on here disrespecting people, but that's not my style. I'm cool, calm, and collected. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to address that because, I had some people like, hood, maybe you need to, some of the sisters, they thinking like, hey, nah, hood, they done hit me in my DM like, hood, nah, you probably need to, they going in on you and stuff like that. And it's like, I understand the concern, but I'm not finna go back and forth and stuff like that. I'm gonna say my part, y'all say y'all part, Hey man, let just, we grown, bro. Whether you a young man or a classic brother, come on, man. I respect y'all. Y'all respect me. I got love for y'all. You know what I mean? And I know y'all got love for me, some type of love. Else y'all wouldn't even be giving me y'all time. Now, let's get into this demonstration. Whew. Closing arguments is getting to the end. And before I proceed, I'm still accepting bets. Get out the comment section, talking on the you. Go over there to the Hood Educated. Go to my Facebook, and let's make something happen, right? Now, y'all, the prosecution closing arguments started with a woman by the name of Christy Salvac. You know, I can't pronounce her last name, right? But she is a pit bull in a skirt. Raw. I'm talking about she breaking it down in the most lamest terms that a 5-year-old could understand. Y'all gotta understand something that I don't think y'all really understand. A RICO, all she has to do is prove the elements of 2 charges. That's it. All that organized crime and it's got to be complicated. RICOs are easy to prove. People don't understand that RICOs are easy to prove. What she is doing, she is explaining to the jury that all it takes is 2 offenses for her to prove. Not only that, she's making the connections. She's connecting the dots so that you can see that this was a criminal organization. The head boss was Sean P. Diddy Combs. He was the one orchestrating people to do this, do that. Don't do this, don't do that. And he was paying people. Now, we got to understand some of the 2 things that she got to prove. And when y'all see this, y'all gonna say, oh man. For those of y'all that done locked it in with me, I'm letting you know right now, I'm gonna give you a player deal right now, 50% off. But if you make me go all the way, I'm gonna have to slam you on your neck now. I'm gonna give you a player deal. But these are 2 of the crimes that she got to prove. Check it out. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Drugging victims to facilitate freak-offs. Transportation of individuals for prostitution, Mann Act violations. Operating a criminal enterprise, RICO conspiracy. Bribery of hotel and security personnel to conceal crimes. Witness tampering and intimidation. Physical assault and domestic violence as a control mechanism. Possession of illegal firearms, defaced serial numbers. Obstruction of justice, destroying or hiding evidence. Blackmail, using illicit recordings of sexual acts. Facilitating and organizing freak-off, sex parties as part of the criminal pattern. Psychological coercion and trauma bonding of victims. Coordinating drug supply chains to fuel control over victims and associates. Maintaining enablers and staff to support the criminal enterprise. Pattern of interstate travel and logistics to perpetuate exploitation. Surveillance and invasion of privacy to monitor and control victims. Use of intimidation to silence public or legal challenges. Y'all see that? Y'all think that this woman is not finna get up in there and prove that? Any one of those, any 2 of those, I mean. I'm talking about some of y'all can just think right off the top of y'all head and say, y'all say domestic violence. I ain't know that was a part of a RICO. Yeah. We got that on camera. That's one. We get that on about the way. That's one. Sex trafficking. Huh? Sex trafficking. Y'all understand what that is, right? That right there deals with somebody compelling somebody to engage in illegal sex. And all the freak-offs that they was doing, all that illegal sex that they was having. See, we think in our mind, people that ain't never been to jail, that ain't never been in the federal criminal judicial system, ain't never been in them courtrooms, right? We think in our minds that, oh man, this right here, it was consensual, man. She said she wanted it, and she was down with it. It's in the text messages. She even said that. But in sex trafficking, that does not matter. That's what people are failing to realize. That don't matter. If they was consenting adults. What matters is this right here. Was a crime violated? Was sex trafficking violated? Were they forced to do it? Were they coerced to do it? Were they manipulated to do it? And I'm finna give y'all that right now just so that we can get that out the way. But it's way more than that. It's way more than that. The videotape. For those of you who have been following the trial, P. Diddy threatened both of them girls, Jane Doe and Cassie. Hey, look, I got the videotape. I'm going to release the videotape. Yeah, if you don't do what I tell you to do. Not only that, he told Jane Doe, look, if you don't do this freak off, I'm going to release this videotape to your child's father. We know who her child's father is, 50 Cent. That's how cold he is. That go our RICO right there. But it gets deeper. There's evidence proving that he made Jane Doe do freak-offs forcefully. Forced her. Manipulated her by paying her rent and stuff like that. Yeah, by getting her teeth done. Yeah. He used all that as leverage to get her to do what he wanted her to do. And that was to engage in illegal sex trafficking. Wait, stop, hood. You doing too much, man. Nah, let me go. Let me go. No, I gotta tell him one more. We ain't talking about transporting people across state lines, is we? We talking about that? Because the male prostitutes got on the stand and testified, hey, yeah, I was in Miami. They flew me in to New York. I was in New York. They flew me in to California. That's just that too right there. Now, to continue with the RICO, we're going to talk about his chief of staff, which is KK. We're going to talk about the Bodyguards. Why hood educated? Why we want to talk about these people right here? Let me explain to you why we need to talk about these people, because we're trying to prove a RICO here. And his chief of staff, KK, she was the one, whenever these girls, Cassie or Jane Doe, got to acting kind of strange or something like that, she was the one that would go and talk to them. Hey, hey, calm down, Y'all know how he is. It's okay. Go on back in there, and then, look, I'm finna go get this for you, to make you feel better. When they was falling out from drugs and all that old type of stuff, she was the one, providing health care and stuff like, hey, no, I'm gonna get you this right, knowing damn well what P. Diddy was doing. So she's a part of the RICO. But she got immunity though. Or do she? Because according to reports, they saying that Sean Diddy Combs is defendant one. Yeah. He defended one. And the only way that he can be defended one is that there got to be a defendant two, they got to be a defendant three, or they got to be a defendant something, because other than that, it'll just say Sean P. Diddy Combs, that's it. But they said defendant won. So who knows? But at the same time, they got evidence proving that she was a part of the whole demonstration. And the bodyguards, you talking about the ones that was going to go get illegal drugs to provide to the victims, Jane Doe and Cassie, to keep the illegal acts of sex going on? Them that helped all this stuff go down? Yeah. For everybody that was saying it take more than one person to have a RICO, I just showed y'all what? 2, 3, probably 4, 5 with his bodyguards. No, we ain't done. 5 of his security guards, armed security guards. When they heard that Suge Knight was at the diner, what you think they did? Under the direction of Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love. They strapped up, they ready to go perform. You see? Not only that, now this is organized crime here. Not only that, when they went into Brother Love's crib, they found AR-15s. Oh, hood, we forgot about the man had guns with the serial number scratched off of them. We forgot that. Huh? Why you got a gun, multiple guns, with the serial number scratched off? For what? We all know why people scratch the serial numbers off the guns. Us from the street, we understand why people do that. Yeah, that's illegal. Assistants that are a part of Bad Boy, that are employed by Bad Boy, they used Bad Boy money to bankroll Brandon, the European guy that got caught with all the drugs. They paid him, made sure that he went to go get drugs as well. Yeah, this is organized. This is not just some stuff this is organized. Paid with Bad Boy money. We talking about racketeering here. No different from what the mob used to do. Brandon, it is said that the boy Brandon made $100,000 a year. Like he was some type of physician or something. But he was P. Diddy's mule. And KK, they said she 10 times more than that. She bankrolling for real. All in the name of this illegal crime. This RICO that they got P. Diddy charged with. Yeah. Listen. The fact that P. Diddy had people, he was demanding that people go buy drugs for him. He was demanding that his security guards kidnap people. Let me back on up on that right there, because they didn't drop the kidnapping. It's still up there. It's still active. Whenever you get your security guards or your bodyguards to go kidnap somebody after you just get done stomping them in the face, I'm talking about Cassie, beating them up, and you take this person from one place to another. Yeah, y'all remember when the security was demanded, hey, go get her, take her to the hotel. Cassie wanted to go home. Made her stay in the hotel for weeks. She wanted to go home. This is her testimony. Not only that though, since we're talking about kidnapping, what about the people that he kidnapped and had them take lie detector tests? He had his security guy, man, I say this boy, he had his security kidnap a woman that he believed stole some jewelry and made her take a lie detector test against her will. And made one of his own security guards after they had to go kidnap him because they thought he was a part. So he put security against security, kidnap him and have him take the lie detector test as well. against his will. They wanted to go home. This is kidnapping. And we still talking about racketeering. All they got to do is prove 2 of those. I mean, I done proved to y'all already. Here's what Christie told the jury. She said racketeering acts include drug distribution, kidnapping, arson, bribery, facilitating sex trafficking of Cassie and Jane, forced labor, travel for commercial sex, and cover-ups. And like I've been telling y'all, this is what she said. You only need 2 acts. Say 2 drug distributions or 1 kidnapping. But you have far more. So I know a lot of y'all probably saying, they said distribution? Wait a minute, Hood. How did Puff, how did he distributed drugs and stuff like that? He ain't no kingpin drug dealer or nothing like that. He ain't no kingpin. Okay, well, I'll give you that. He's not a kingpin. But when you distribute drugs, it's this simple. He had his bodyguards, KK, bankrolling, and Brandon. He bankrolled them to go get the drugs. And once he got the drugs, he distributed them. Who did? Who distributed the drugs? P. Diddy. Who he give them to? Cassie and Jane Doe. This is drug distribution. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably saying, hey, Hood, man, you act like the man was, dealing in kilos of cocaine or something like that. In federal law, it don't matter how much you distributed. As long as you distributed, you violated the law. Period. Y'all gonna study some, after this, y'all gonna read up on some federal laws and be like, man, Hood ain't. Yeah. That's how they finna knock them for the distribution. And we still talking about the RICO. Y'all wanna talk about some more kidnapping? What about when he got Cassie and made her get in the car to take him to Kid Cudi's house? Cassie said she ain't want to do that. She said she was forced to do that. And he had a gun. Come on. Took her from one place to another. Something she didn't want to do. That's kidnapping under federal law. Not only that, he told Cassie, hey, look, I'm going to blow his car up. And would you know, a little while later, his car got blown up. Now, we got to understand something. They looked on the car and they seen some woman fingerprints or whatever, woman DNA on the car and all that. But at the same time, he told Cassidy he was going to have it blown up. And so what are we dealing with here? Somebody say something, then the next thing you know, it happens. 9 times out of 10, that person that said something about that has something to do with it. I mean, people are not dumb. People are not dumb. Them people on the jury is taxpaying citizens. They ain't dumb. They can put 1 and 1 together. And that's what they gonna do. And to make it, just to corroborate, when the police came on the scene of Kid Cudi car being blown up, guess what they seen leaving the scene of the crime? A SUV. They ran the plates. What the plates come back to, Hood Educated? Bad Boy Entertainment. Come on. These are breadcrumbs. We putting things together. You said you was going to blow the man car up. The man car get blown up. When the police get there, they see a black SUV leaving the scene of the crime. They run the plates. Bad Boy Entertainment. But nah, Puff, he ain't had nobody do that. He ain't had nothing to do with that, man. I'm talking about right after the car blew up and one of his vehicles was leaving the scene of the crime? Nah. And he did say he was gonna blow that boy car, but nah, Puff ain't, he ain't had nothing to do with that. This is what we call corroborating evidence. Corroborating evidence. The jury is not a fool. Not only that though, y'all. They got Puff saying that he was going. They got evidence, voice recorded of him saying that he was going to blow that boy car up. And then not only that, years later, Kid Cudi testified that Puff, P. Diddy, Brother Love, apologized to him. If you did nothing wrong to this man, nothing, what is you apologizing for? You see what I'm saying? And that goes along with this demonstration right here. Check it out.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
The man said he was in a dark place and he's apologizing. Look, how many of y'all know somebody that apologized for nothing? I'm talking about people just come out the sky blue, just see you and say, hey brother, I'm sorry. You like, what you sorry for, man? What you done did? Man, I'm just sorry, man. I apologize. You ain't did nothing wrong to me, bruh. What you apologizing for? People apologize when they know they done did something wrong. Apology is an admittance of guilt. When you apologize, you are basically admitting that, hey man, I did something wrong. You see? And whatever that something is, the person that you apologizing to understands that. And they understand what you're talking about. You see? I steal somebody's gun. They found out I stole it. Hey, bro, man, I was off my square, bro. I apologize for that. That brother gonna know, yeah, man, you was bogus for stealing my gun. He gonna know what I'm talking about. And Kid Cudi knew what he was talking about. The world should know what he talking about when he apologizing. In the video that I just showed y'all. But it gets deeper though. I mean, this man right here was just out his mind. Check it out.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say when you put your girl on the snap.
Can y'all explain to me, why would Cassie be hiding from him the way she is? And you can hear the tone of his voice that he ain't playing, that he's serious. Something happened and he ain't like it. And she hiding. That don't look good. That don't look good. It wasn't in a playful nature. I can see if they was playing or something like that. I can understand that. But it wasn't in a playful nature. He sounded aggressive. But let's get into some more of this demonstration. Let's talk about bribery, right? They are saying that one time they was doing a freak off. And Puffy got multiple guys in there. And Cassie must have been staring at one of the guys because she might have, I don't know if she liked him or whatever, but she was staring at him. And Puff went off, grabbed her by the head, smashed her head into the desk, slapped her, kicked her, pulled her hair. Y'all remember that boy testified to that? And after that, the boy, the male prostitute, he was startled, right? He shook like, wow, man, like, why are you doing this beautiful woman like that? He even testified that he called her a couple of times and said, hey, look, you ain't got to get treated like that. You shouldn't let him treat you like that. But at the same time, after he dogged her like that, he made her get in there. Go do the freak off. The only reason why she wasn't able to do the freak off, she was willing, she went. But the boy, he couldn't perform after that. It messed his mind up. As fine as Cassie is, he couldn't even perform no more. Man, you just beat this girl up in front of me. So when Diddy seen that he couldn't perform, Diddy understood what was going on. He paid him for his services, and he gave him some extra money. Keep your mouth closed. Don't talk about what you just seen. That's bribery. What about that videotape, the security guard? What about that? When he had his security guards and KK now, the people that's in his organization, trying to get that video. And they finally got it and paid $50,000 for it. Cash. This is bribery. This is against the law. Y'all be quiet. Y'all don't say nothing. Yeah, y'all seen me just beat that girl almost half to death. And y'all know why he beat her like that? It's because she got tired of doing the freak off. And she wanted to leave. She wanted to stop. No. That's why he was naked when he ran out of the room. When y'all seen P. Diddy in the hallway with a towel on, it wasn't because he just got out the shower. He was naked while they was doing the freak off. She put her clothes on real quick, threw on the hood, and tried to and bailed up out of there. And that's why he chased her down in a towel. Yeah. That's kidnapping. Took her back to the room after the police and all that old type of stuff, tried to make her do it some more. But when the police dude came, he, hold on, no. I mean, not the police, the security guard dude. He, no. I'm breaking this up. Y'all got to stop this. But he was trying to force her to get back in there and get down. Cold-blooded demonstration. Now, for all you brothers and sisters and whoever else that are saying that, man, it's just a domestic violence hood educated. Man, he just a freaky dude hood educated. Like I told y'all the last time. These girls was manipulated into doing these freak-offs. They didn't want to do them. He was compelling them to do them. How? Paying them. Beating them, threatening them, manipulating them. That's how he was getting them to do it. Now, y'all might say, well, hood, you know, they said they liked it. Sometimes they did it and they even hooked it up for them. Yeah, but the times that they said they didn't want to do it, that's what matters in law. Regardless, we can sit back and say, hey, man, they liked it, man. They just freaks and all that. The times that they... Listen, let me tell y'all something. If them girls liked it that, do you think them girls would be on the stand testifying against him? They could have easily said, hey, nah, you know what? I ain't finna do that. That's Diddy. I ain't finna do that. That man took so good care of me. I ain't finna do that. Cassie, all she had to do was just say, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I got my lawsuit. What y'all gonna do? Hold me for contempt of court? What y'all gonna give me? I ain't got no felonies or nothing like that. I can't get no time. She got enough money to hire a lawyer. A lawyer would have told her, look, man, you ain't got to do that. P. Diddy could have hired her a lawyer, and he would have told her, nah, you ain't got to do that. They can call you and all that. Man, you just plead the fifth on the grounds that I might incriminate myself. Are we gonna give you immunity? I don't want your immunity. You see, they could have easily did that, but they didn't. Why? Because that boy treated them girls bad. I'm talking about, he treated them girls like they was animals in a cage. Tramps, sluts, hookers. And all they really wanted was to be loved by the brother. But he couldn't do that because his desires was out of order. That's why I be telling y'all all the time, we got to keep our passions and our desires in the bounds of moderation so they won't go crazy like Diddy. We got to draw a circle around that type of stuff. You can't let it get out of bounds. Now, this brother right here, he went out of space. It's past out of bounds. I'm talking about this boy right here done went too far with it. I understand people can be freaky and all that old type of stuff, but when you looking at other men's genitalia and you telling your girl, hey, look, go get one with one that this long hair. I want you to take one like that there. And then when that thing get to leaking that love lotion, I want you to come rub it all on my body. I want to play in it. He done went out of space with his freakiness. I don't even see how some of you brothers can even be saying, he just freaky. Y'all freaky like that? Y'all cool with that? Y'all gonna let a man, come on, I know y'all ain't, so stop. That's disgusting, bruh. That's disgusting. These women did not want to engage in sexual acts with strangers, unprotected, while this dirtbag sit in the corner with baby oil going to town on himself for hours. They didn't want to do that. They told him, hey, look, I don't want to. He compelled them, manipulated, forced them. I want them to wear a condom. I don't like condoms. Do it without a condom. This man right here was so out of his mind, he risking their life and his life too. All because he can't control his passions and desires. Despicable. And we must understand, out of all those freak-offs, multiple, I'm talking about, they said there's so many they can't even count. All those freak-offs for all those hours and all that. All they need is for the jury to find him guilty of one. And what you mean by that, hood educated? All they got to do is look at the elements of sex trafficking and say, on that freak off right there, he violated sex trafficking. Over. And when it come to Jane Doe, according to, reports, 50 Cent baby mama, he did her so dirty. I'm talking about, it's been times, and it's well documented in text messages. They got this stuff recorded where she telling this man, hey, look, check this out. I just want to spend time with you. I just want to, love on you. I want to be with you. I love you. And he said, okay, yeah, baby, come on through. And when she get there, he got 3 sex workers, 3 prostitutes in there waiting on her. She testified, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be with him. And there goes the crime. She didn't want to do it. And a lot of y'all say, well, she did it, man, but she did it, she liked it. No, because the law gonna say she was manipulated into doing it. She was coerced into doing it. Because in one incident, she said that she said that she got on the plane and she was finna meet up with Diddy. And it was supposed to be him and her. But when she got there again, sex workers were sitting there waiting on her. And she said she started crying. P. Diddy grabbed her by the neck, put his face to her face, and said, take this pill, and put it in her mouth. And then asked her, is this coercion? Yeah. And y'all know what she did after that? She went and performed. Cold. But in another incident, she said that he did the same thing because she was complaining. They got the evidence, text message. I don't want to do this. I want to be with you. All right, okay, come through. She come through. He got sex workers waiting. This time, she ain't got no drugs. He made her do it sober. 3 guys, when she was doing it, she said she got so exhausted and so disgusted that she started throwing up violently. And you know what he said? Get back in there. Now. And she got back in there. I don't see how people can defend that. I don't see how people can say, hey, yeah, you know, that was consensual. She liked that. You know, that's what she wanted. When you got 2 girls on the stand talking about, matter of fact, 3, because that the Diddy Kane girl. Not only that, you got the sex workers, the prostitutes, testifying that this type of stuff happened. They bear witnessed it. They telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth because they don't want nothing to do with that. So why would the sex workers lie? They have no reason to. This whole demonstration is an unfortunate situation. It's sad, bro. It's sad. And I understand that, you know, everybody have their views. Everybody have their point concerning this matter. And that's okay. After looking at the evidence and seeing everything with the you know, the videotapes, the text messages and stuff like that, I'm leaning towards the prosecution on this demonstration, and that's no secret. For those of you who are leaning towards, you know, the defense, hey, to your way be yours, to my way be mine. But according to everything that I've seen, or everything that I have came into contact with, as far as like digging in this case, he a low down dirty dog. This is hood educated, not lame related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.